Okay, y'all, I'm right here. I know y'all can't see my face, but it's 6:30, 6:40 in the morning, and I have to do this now because this is very important. Please listen to everything that I say in this video. I can't remember all of the details, but I remember some very important stuff. Um, so in this vision, it was like, well, first of all, I believe we like walking in the spirit with a lot of this, but um I was in some sort of building, and there was a bunch of people in there. There was black people, there was white women and black men, I know for sure. And I think some other men of different ethnicities, like Hispanic or something. And um I was trying to get up out of this building, and like it was something about, well, let me just go ahead and keep going. I was trying to get up out of this building. They were having this meeting inside of the building, and they were talking amongst themselves, and there was like businesses that were in the building. So, but the businesses were almost like they were kind of shut down, and I was trying to get out of this building along with some other people that was trying to get up out of the building. And I said, how do I get out of here? But someone had tried to do something to me, and or they were watching me or something, I don't know, and I had pulled out um, a pocket knife, and I opened it, and there was like some man or something that said, oh, like, I need to get like her, she's smart, she already prepared. And then I started like, I once I seen that the threat, there was still somebody around in the vision that was trying to be a threat to me in this building. So I asked, how did I get out of the building? They were having this little meeting, and I was like, how do I get out of here? And somebody was like, oh, well, you go up those stairs or go this way and make a left and the way you came in or something. So I went to take their directions, and I saw this escalator was broken, and you could not use the escalator to get up the stairs. And then they had this little slide with cushions in it, and you can climb up the slide. And it was like an amusement park type Discovery Zone, Chuck E. Cheese type slide. And I started climbing up the slide, but because of my body was not in shape to do it, I couldn't climb all the way up it. And I came back down, and I was like, to hell with this. Y'all got another way for me to get up these stairs. So I ended up finding a way up the stairs with a whole bunch of other people, and we ended up on this MARTA platform, like when you ride the train. And it was like 11:37, what it said on this nearby clock. And it wasn't like the MARTA screen TV. It was like an alarm clock. When you have an alarm clock and it has the numbers like in red or something, it was like an alarm clock that was somewhere on the ceiling. And I saw that it said like 11:37. And there was a train that was about to come. And I heard this white woman who was downstairs, young white woman, or middle-aged white woman, who was having the meeting with the people in the building, with all these buildings, with all these businesses shut down, and people were, I'm not going to say they were panicking or acting frantic, but the way that they were having the meeting was as if they were discussing something that they were trying to keep a lid on and trying to do anything desperately to try to cover this up. And so they even had businesses shut down, and they were congregating in this building, trying to conspire desperately about how they were going to cover something up. So the white woman said, don't let her get on that train. And I heard her, and I ended up not getting on the train, and it was dark outside, and I came back and into the building because there was something going on the platform that there were like people, like, I think, trying to do stuff to me on the platform or going up the stairs and things like that. So I came back to where the white woman was, and I looked at the time, and it was time for the last train to basically like run. And I said, oh, so you trying to make me miss the last train? I was like, I said, oh, I see what you're trying to do. And the train would stop running, I guess, because they had it to where it would stop running early. And it was going to start running at midnight on this platform. But that wasn't really what I'm making this video about, because I don't understand all of that, nor do I. It's not that I don't care, but what I care about is what I saw next. I ran into this room, and I was like, when I ran into this room, I had like kind of walked from them and went into this room, and there was this big old like king size bed, and it had like burgundy blankets and sheets, like silk and stuff, and satin all over the bed. And this little baby was in there all by itself. And the little pocket knife that I had pulled on the dude like was right next to the baby. But the pocket knife wasn't open. It was like this little race car pocket knife that I had bought from the store. And it wasn't open. It was closed. And the little baby just crawled past the little pocket knife, and it didn't crawl off the bed and hurt itself, or it just waited right there on the bed for me to come back, or for me to come in the room. And it was in a little diaper, and it had some little curly hair on top of the head and some little brown skin. And it just started crawling towards me like real fast. And I went and snatched up the baby, and I picked up the baby. And I was like, I walked into the room with the baby I walked out the room into the little building where all the people who was conspiring. And I had the little baby in my arms. And then I went into this room of some women, and supposedly it was something about my man that I'm with now, and something about his family, and something about when I had the baby in my arms, my spirit was like, oh, we don't have nowhere to stay that long. And I had asked this lady, I was like, something about his sister or something, like my man's sister. And I asked her, I was like, oh, this your nephew or something? Can't we stay with you? And the baby, what didn't look, I ain't gonna say the baby didn't look like him, but the baby definitely looked like me, this little small baby. And we had a conversation, and we already decided that if we gonna be together, he gonna be a father to my children, and he have to love my children as if he's their father if we together. And he agreed to it. And so I was holding this baby, and I know the baby looked like me. The little baby looked like me. And I started kissing the baby all in the mouth, but not like, you know, doing nothing to the baby, but just like how you kiss your child, like, mwah, mwah, like, just kissing your baby. And so I held the little baby up, and now the baby had on this little, like, green baby outfit, but the thing was like, it looked like them little hospital outfits where the adults wear the hospital outfits with the back out, like the little green hospital outfits with the back out, but it was like a little baby outfit that was that same color, like a hospital outfit. And then it had the little buttons that go underneath the diaper and snap. And it was so small and cute, but normal size. And then I kissed the baby, mwah, 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 and I was holding the baby up, kissed the baby in the face, had on a little hat, and the baby was just looking at me and smiling. And then first I had a little light skin, like my complexion type tone baby in my hand. Then I had a little darker one in my hand. And when I first had the like lighter brown baby in my hand, I wanted to know how old the baby was. I asked the woman in the room, I was like, this your nephew, like, how old is he? Like, it was my baby, but I asked, I was like, how old is the baby? And she was like, he 3 months old. She was like, he 3 months, like, you just had that baby. And then so, cause I was looking at the size of the baby, like, it looked small, and I didn't know how old it was, but I knew that it wasn't like a newborn or whatever. So then all of a sudden I had another little boy in my arms. Well, I don't know if that was a boy or a girl. I don't really know the sex of that baby, but then I had another little boy in my arms, and he looked like he was about 2 or 3 years old, and he looked just like Marcus. He looked just like the man that I'm with, and he had a darker, real dark brown little skin tone, but it wasn't as dark as his father's. It was a little lighter, and he had a little head on him, and he looked just like Marcus in the face. And I put the little baby, he was 2, 3 years old, and he was a nice size, healthy little boy. And he had his eyes. He had my man eyes. And I had him in my arms, and I laid him back on the bed in the room, and I said, "Oh my goodness, you look just like your father." I was like, "You look just like your daddy." And he had something on his head, and I said, "You look just like Charleston too," because he looked like my cousin Michelle's son, Charleston. He looked just like my man. He looked like Charleston, my little cousin. And then so he had something on his head, like it looked almost like a scab, like he fell down and hurt himself or something, and it bust his head. But it was almost shaped like a pyramid. But at the top, it was like an eye on his forehead, like at the very top of his forehead, it was like an eye. But it looked like a scab, but it wasn't. So it looked like his skin. It looked like an eye was on his forehead. And it looked like it was me and my man, little boy. And he had like an eye on his forehead, but it was turned vertically, not like horizontally. And then it was shaped like a pyramid, but the top of it was missing in the bottom, so it didn't have no top on it, and it had no bottom, but it was slanted, and it looked like a little eye on his forehead. And it was just a child. And so after that, I think I woke up for a little bit, and I just kind of thought about what it was that I had just seen, like, because I know me and my man, we talked about us having a child, and he did say the other night, I was like, baby, what do you want? Do you want a boy or you want a girl? You know, like, when I make it through whatever I'm going through as far as this pregnancy with this child. And he was like, he said he wanted a boy. So, when I woke up, I was just thinking about that, and I was like, because we had just made love, and we just got together and everything, but I don't know what the future holds for me and this man. You know, we still together, and we hug, and we say we love each other, and my man is very spiritually, like, I ain't gonna say awake, but yeah, that's what I would want to say, because like he do see things in the spirit, and he do be having his Bible, and you know, I don't know what's going on, but that's what I saw, and I don't take my visions as if it's something that's gonna happen, not gonna happen in the future. I just take it for what it is. If I seen that, then I seen that, because I'm open for whatever God have in store for me and my children. And we talked about having kids, you know, together. And I know what I saw. And so, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but it probably will, because I just seen myself holding a little boy that looked just like him. Too. I had another baby that looked more like me, and then I had a baby that looked more like the man that I'm with, just like him. And then I woke up, and I was just contemplating. I was just meditating on what I had saw, because sometimes I won't be able to see my visions clearly. I won't remember them when I wake up, or if I don't tell about them right away, I'll forget. I'll forget, because I have so many, and they'll come like back to back to back if I'm still asleep. So that was good that I was able to have one that I could remember at night, because sometimes I can only remember them in the daytime if I sleep during the day. So after that, I went back to sleep, and this is very important as well. So after that, I went back to sleep, and when I went back to sleep, there were these women trying to actually kill me in the spirit, and they had weapons. They were black women, and I think one was, I don't know exactly what skin tone they were, but I know that one of them was like around my complexion, and she had like straight hair, looked like maybe some Yaki or something tracks, or it was hers, I don't know, but they were dressed seemingly like women, and the woman ran up to me with a wrench, and the wrench had like a curve on it, and she was trying to attack me with the wrench, and I just snatched it out of her hand. Like, when she came up to me with the wrench, it was like, it had like a black handle on it, and the top was silver, and it had a curve, and she was trying to attack me with the wrench. And this was after I had the vision of the babies, and I had to pull out a knife in that one to protect myself from some man, and I saw the baby crawling next to the little knife that I had pulled out on him. And so now in this vision, I had women running up to me, and I believe we was like in the spirit, and she tried to attack me with the wrench, and then she was with another woman, and she was trying to attack as well. And I snatched the handle. I grabbed her hand, and I just snatched the wrench. I applied it out of her hand as she was trying to attack me with it. And then the other lady pulled out a butcher knife, and she was coming at me with the butcher knife, and I went after her, as well. So it's like she was coming after me with the other woman, and then I don't know if she tried to run or whatever, but I ended up using force and grabbing her arm and grabbing her hand and grabbing the knife, snatching the butcher knife out of her hand. So I took their weapons from them that they tried to use on me, and it happened very quickly. It happened very quickly. So they came up on me very quickly, trying to beat me with a wrench and stab me with a butcher knife. And all I could see was the women in front of me, and it was like, and I've been done already snatched the knife and the wrench out of their hands. And then so after that, there was more. Like I woke up and I was like, damn, like these women just tried to attack me with a damn knife and a wrench. Like, damn, these women, these witches, these women really is taking it to a whole new level, because I already told y'all they done punched me in my stomach with this baby. They done hit me in my throat. I mean, it's not funny like that, but it is, because I don't know how to come out my body and come in your house and choke the hell out of you for trying to hurt my baby. Like, I don't know how to do that kind of stuff, but they do. And it reminds me a lot of some of the stuff that they was doing when I was in the jail. But I don't want to get into that yet. What I do want to say is I was having more visions, so I fell back to sleep, and I was having more visions. And I don't remember what I saw. I don't remember nothing about the third vision that I had. I can't remember anything, because I didn't tell about the first two when I first got them. So if I would have told about the first one and the second one and went back to sleep, then I probably would have remembered the third one. But because my mind was still trying to hold on to the first couple visions, and I lost very important details about the first two visions as well, because I didn't tell them right away. I went back to sleep. So what I can remember about the third vision is what I felt. I don't remember what I saw, but I remember what I felt, and it was something like I could feel something revolving around money and revolving around people acting very frantic. So after these women pulled out these weapons on me in my sleep, and I done took the weapons from them in my sleep, I went back to sleep, and I could feel that they were frantic now, that there was people who were running around and trying to do whatever they could frantically now. And I don't know exactly what all they was conspiring to do, what all they did, but I know that it was something revolving trying to bring death or harm upon me, trying to lie and deceive the people, trying to cover up things that is being exposed by God. You know what I'm saying? That they have probably been doing for a very, very, very long time and getting away with. And that like there was a shame coming upon these people, some sort of shame that was not the type of shame that we have really ever seen before. But the type of shame where God pretty much chooses the ones who he gonna keep. And then like the ones who know that they not going to heaven, like they angry or they not gonna be in the kingdom. They're not gonna be in the kingdom, like they angry and they running around frantically because he done condemned them. And they choosing to follow Satan and do what it is that Satan has been teaching them to do this whole time, and they've been doing it. And now it's like they have to reap what the Most High have spoken against them because they chose to do what it was that Satan was doing and wanted them to do. And now it's like they really angry because not only have he condemned them, but he done gave them time to think about it. And it's like when you got a child that's being bad and you done told them, all right, when I get home, that's your ass. I'm going to whoop your ass. And you better have my switch ready. You better have my belt ready. And I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, I don't want to whoop him. Because I told you time and time and time again to stop messing up in school, stop acting a fool, or stop hitting your brother or doing whatever it was you were doing. And you kept doing it like it was a game, so now you in trouble. And that's how, and they was acting frantic, like, okay, we know we in trouble with God. And at first, it was like everybody was acting like, oh, God ain't gonna do this and God ain't gonna do that. But the way they was acting, like, in the spirit was like, it's like people was starting to act frantic, like, okay, God is gonna do something to us. And then it's like they were still trying to do stuff to me, like out of spite or like even some sort of jealousy as well. And then like they mad because I'm exposing what the Holy Spirit is showing me about them as well. Because it's true. I ain't lying on these folk about nothing. It was just something about like my whole situation about my pregnancy, and it was like people was frantic, like all of a sudden, like, okay, damn, like now I could feel a shift in the spirit to where you gotta come at me with a whole damn butcher knife in my sleep, like they frantic, you know what I'm saying, at this point, because I'm just cooling and chilling and telling what went down and proving my case. But they know that they in trouble now. And so I remember they drugged me in the Montgomery County Jail and tried to say that I was crazy. Somebody put something in my drink or my food or something. And the room started spinning, and they came and took me out the cell and put me in this little room, and I passed out. And the woman had a gun, but before I passed out, they strapped me down to this chair and was filming me, trying to make me look like a mental patient after they done drugged me with some sort of hallucinogen through my food or my drink. Like, you fucking spiked me, man. And then sat there and tried to film the shit to try to keep me from going to trial and telling the fact that this young white man, my baby daddy, was abusing me, and they did it knowing that I was pregnant and was lying about my baby and refusing to let me have medical care and not giving me extra food to eat. And my baby was eating my body. And I lost all that weight as a result of them trying to lie and cover stuff up. And they had put me, this black lady was right there helping them, strapped me down to this chair, and they stripped me butt naked and drugged me through the hallways of the jail. And I was on the video. They was trying to record the video making me look crazy, but I was screaming on the video, y'all know that he was attacking me, and y'all doing this because I'm African American and I had to protect myself, and y'all over here trying to stage shit and trying to persecute me because of my ethnicity. I had to defend my child. He was attacking my child, and I'm pregnant. And they had these big old burly white women dragging me down the hallway through the jail screaming after they done drugged me with something. And then they put me in this violent room to try to make it seem like I was violent, to try to create false evidence against me, to make it seem like, oh no, she just crazy and violent and shot the gun. I was not crazy and violent. He was hurting us, and they knew the evidence as well about me having to run out of my home screaming in the streets with my baby in my arms, and running into a restaurant asking for help. And he came in there attacking us in the restaurant, attacking us in the streets, attacked me all in my home. Police was called several times, but they still, because I'm African American, they gonna drug me and try to put me in a room and then try to make it seem like I was some violent animal, and I was in there starving and pregnant. And so my baby bump, I was over 7 months, and this was after investigator Jim McDougal had went and interviewed the witness at Baytown Seafood where the shooting happened. The male witness he was helping us, and he called 911, and the police had tried to hide his statement and falsify the arrest record and say that Austin never attacked me or my child. And my investigator, who was working for my lawyer, Ingrid Chandler, he had went and interviewed the witness in person and got the witness to tell him the truth. And the witness said that she was protecting herself and defending herself, and he was being stupid with her baby. And the witness said, I was not afraid of getting shot, because after she shot the gun in the air, he was still being stupid with her baby, and I was trying to help her. And he was knocking her down all into the booths. And he told them everything I told them. And my investigator was like, this is the fault of the Conroe police, and he was shaking. And there was a Conroe police officer behind the door trying to do a skit and intimidate him. And Jim McDougal was like, this should not even have to go. He said, this may not have to go to trial. He said, this is the fault of the Conroe Police Department for arresting me and having me up in that jail after he found out what really happened. He was like, I can understand why they would arrest you at first, but to continue to have you up in here talking about they're going to take you to trial, he said this is the fault of the Conroe Police Department, and he was shaking, like he looked very shaken up. And I was like, okay, well, when am I going to get out of here? And when y'all going to go and send CPS to go get my baby? Because Austin was living with Cynthia, and Austin was attacking me and my baby and got shot. And they had him over there at Cynthia's house with my son. And I said, y'all need to send CPS over to Cynthia's house to go get my baby and let me up out of here. And then Jim was looking at me with like a very blank stare. And I know why he was looking at me like that. Because they tried to murder me after he went and found the evidence, the truth about what the Conroe police lied about on the arrest record. Then after Jim McDougal came up there and said that he interviewed the witness and found out the truth and that it was the fault of the police department, all of a sudden they had drugged me in my cell. They spiked me, and then they tried to make it seem like I was some violent person or some paranoid schizophrenic